Hey there everyone, all the techies and data enthusiasts there. Welcome back to video 3 of Generative AI using Django series. And in this particular video, we are going to discuss about what is Django and even we are going to configure it in our system so that I'll show you all how you can configure it perfectly for the Generative AI project which we are going to do in our upcoming sessions. And let's dive into computer screen and discuss more about this. Before that, please do subscribe the channel. We are very close to 2000 subscribers and I see your support is great for me to create more videos. And with this great support, I request you all those who have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel and share these videos with your friends, those who are interested in data science and AI. So guys, now let's dive into my computer screen. So guys, what all are our requirements? Based on that, I have already created a complete document here. So I'll show you all one by one and we'll discuss about that. So setting up the basic structure of your Django project. In this, if you see Python version 3.6 plus is recommended. However, we are going to use the latest version. Pip and VS Code is required. Apart from that, not only Python, we will also install Anaconda. So this is Anaconda Navigator. Guys, those who all are not having Anaconda, make sure to install this particular Anaconda. You can free download it and you can install this particular, you can see if you click on this free download, you will immediately get here. Submit your mail ID and you will immediately get the option to download it. So make sure to download it. If you have Anaconda configured on your laptop, it's very easy for us to create a virtual environments and install all the packages in that only instead of using only Python. So I recommend you all to install this. And apart from that, you can see here even we have an option to install with Python also. So if you are using maximum Windows is what many of them will be using. Apart from that, some of the core techies, those who know Linux, so they'll be using Linux. So even I like Linux, but the only problem was that in this system I cannot install Linux right now. There are some multiple dependencies depending on the system. So you can directly check the Python version using this command. So open a command prompt and if you press enter, so you will get here what is the latest Python version which is installed in your laptop. So if you don't have Python version, make sure to install Python from either the default Python website or you have another option that's you can directly use Microsoft Store. If you see a Microsoft Store, if I click on this, you will get the store opened. And here if you search for Python, that's enough. It's taking time to process out. So here you can see it. Type here Python. You can see here even you have the latest Python 3.12 as well. So this is 3.12, 3.11, 13 as well. So you can see here we can even install 13 as well. So whichever suits for you from Python 3.8, you have everything. You can install anything. So I would recommend go with either 3.10 or 11. Okay, that's the stable version right now. So I have already installed it. The only advantage of using this Microsoft Store is you don't need to configure, or it is like you don't need to add the path on your environment variable that this and all, because if you just install using Microsoft Store, it will automatically configure at the back end. So that's the privilege for the Windows users. Others you can directly download from the original website and you can configure it, so that will automatically work. And Django, step 2 is to install Django. This I'll show you all practically now. So here let me create a file or new folder called Django. So in this here I'll again create new folder called test1. There is a reason I want to maintain all projects in one place. So that's the reason. Test1. and I'll enter inside this. Now here I'll directly open up the VS Code. Okay, so those who have not installed VS Code, make sure to install it. I hope if you are in the generative AI stage, then I definitely feel that many of them might have already installed it. So I don't need to specifically tell you all what is it and how it is. So now here our next process will be, you can see here on the blog, it's already mentioned. So pip install Django. Before that, we need to actually create an environment. So when you are installing Django and other things, the core Python in your Anaconda or in your Python normal version, that should not be interrupted. So what we do, we open a terminal, and I'll change this to command prompt. So here we need to actually create a virtual environment. So for that you have a command called conda create -p dot slash venv, or any name you can give, dot slash env dot slash venv, and python double is equals to 3.11. So I'll give this and I'll press enter. So now it's taking some time to load it out to create the environment. Okay, so it's actually checking out at the back end. Moreover, there are multiple things running on my system, so there is a high load. Yeah, you can see here it's retrieving and it's working out. So it's at the first time you can like expect some delay, but it will work soon. So let's wait for it to complete. So you might not see this delay because there is multiple graphic processor running at the back end. That's the reason my laptop is taking some time. You can see here, but the download has been started. So this is done. Now virtual environment has been added here. Okay, so it's actually executing. It's taking some time at here. Okay, so guys, here you can see it. It's done now. Now our next task is to activate this environment. Conda activate dot slash env. So you can see here it was already created here also. You can see here the folder. So it's been created already. Now our task is to work based on this. Okay. Hmm. So and next now let's go back to our process normally. So if you see here, Python version is done and now we need to install Django. Django will not be inbuilt. We have to download this library. Pip install Django. Okay, so just run this command. It will be installed. No, so this will take a minute time to get activated. Yeah, so you can see here it's getting started. So there are some of the things which are left out is getting installed. So let it to be done. By the time, let us see what exactly we are pending with. So after this, we have Django admin version to check the admin version. Then we will start to create a like Django project. Okay. So this is the simple template. Once you create the project, the main advantage here is all the file structure will automatically come. You don't need to create a manual file structure how you does in Fast API. By just using this one small template, you will get everything by default. And in Django, there are many inbuilt functions like from password security to hashing and database integration, easy database integration. So just in the settings.py, if you mention the things that's over, so it will be integrated. That's one of the main interesting point here. So yeah, this has been done. Okay, so guys, now you all can see this. It's been already installed. Now we can even check the version of this. So if the version is there, then I'll show you all the setup. So I have just stopped the video in between and I have restarted my laptop to get it fixed. So there was some servers running at the back end, that was the issue. So now the things are solved, it's not a problem. You can see here now the Django current version is 5.0.4, and now let us start building our application. So here you can see here the command which shows create a Django project. To create a Django project, you need to just take Django admin, start project, and my project. So here you can give any project name. So I'll give it here project name as Django test. Okay, and enter. So you observe this place here. So you will automatically get valid project name. Make sure the name is not an identifier. Okay, I'll just give O multiple times. So sometimes there will be a name issue. So you can see here the project has been created here. So if I open this, you can see a manage.py is here and your init settings urls.py and wsg.py. So if you go back here, now you can see in this like what's the process here. So all the things whatever was mentioned, everything is here. Okay, so manage.py is main, you can say, like in Fast API or Flask, if you see, there is something called app.py or main.py. The same work is done by manage.py here. So if you just run python manage.py, run server, so it will immediately run the server and it will give you all the updates. So in settings.py as well. So for each Django project, you get a unique security key like this. So make sure to use this production in a .env file. Okay, and also templates you have by default the template. So if you just give here the directory, by default it will take all the HTML templates directory from here. And database, by default you have SQLite 3 and you can just configure it. You can change here according to the database which you want, whether it can be SQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, anything works. And password hasher, you can see this is an important password hashers to hash the password using the cryptographic algorithms, and by default big field. So these are some of the things which need to be enabled, and now by default which will be enabled. Now let us see how to run this. So you can see here cd my project and python manage.py run server. The same goes here, cd django, okay, and python manage.py run server. So if you just run this run server, you will get this server get started now. You can start it taking a bit time. For the first time, it will take some time. Then you will get it immediately. Yeah, you can see it's checking the system. Now you have it on. See here. So the installed workspace successfully. Congratulations, and you have the Python Django version, and you have some release notes and documentations here. So if you click on documentations, you can see their documentation in an HTTPS page. So for now, this is working. You can see like tutorials and everything will be here. So this is our normal page. If this page comes, it says that your Django is successfully installed. So the server is running right now. So whatever code you are going to write, you have to write it in app actually. So if you go back here, you can see here. So the success image here, I'm showing this. And after this, we need to understand, like understanding the folder structure was done, and make migrations. Python manage.py make migrations. This is to apply migrations in your database. So for example, so in this, not in this, let me just start an app first, then I'll tell you how it works. So there should be, you can see a Python manage.py start app and app name. This is the command. So I'll close this. Start app, and let me give app name as file1. Okay, I'm just giving it simply. You can see here immediately the file1 app has been under this Django, you can see here. So now here this is your models.py by default. So whatever code you will be writing related to your database, like schema, you will be writing here, right? So this, when you apply Python manage.py make migrations, this will be applied, like make migrations will apply that schema to the backend database, whether it can be SQLite 3 or any other database. To apply those, we use make migrations and migrate, okay, to detect those changes what we have made in this project, and that particular schema should be updated in your database. For that reason, okay, and admin.py, this would configure your models to appear in the database interface. App.py, so this will configure the settings of the app. Models.py, so I told you, right, the tables, whatever table should be there in your database, that we write. Test.py, you can create a simple test and you can write it. So whatever main logic is there, right, you normally write in this, you normally start with one app. So this file1 is the app or main code which you will be writing here. So here you can see the view.py. So the entire logics, whatever it is there, you can write here. You can write here, and you can, like same way how you does in Flask, you can create multiple .py files and connect them all to this view.py where the main code, source code will be there, okay? This is one of the main structure which you guys need to understand. And init.py file, everything will be auto created. So, and after this, only one thing is left out to share with you all. That's urls.py. So by default, you have slash admin URL here. So that's the reason, like if you see now the server was running right previously. So Python manage.py run server. Yeah, the server is up again. So now if I load this again, you can see this is running. So now here if I give slash admin, you can see here immediately you get an admin page here with username and password. So for this, I guess admin default password is admin. Okay. So this password I don't remember, but yeah. So the migrations haven't been created, so that's not a problem. I just wanted to show you this interface. You can log in and see on this later as well. So let me create migrations and see, or else once Python manage.py. Make migrations. No changes detected. So Python manage.py run server is what we need to do now. Let me. Okay, by default for this admin, we don't get password actually. So I haven't used this anytime. Admin is now, it was not required to me actually. I used to configure my own databases. So that was the reason I did not require it. But yeah, we can create. So there is something called Python manage.py. Create super user. No such table auth underscore user. What was that error? Python manage.py migrate. Yeah, all the migrations are done fine. Now it's done. Now let's create the super user and see. Yeah. Okay, username, leave blank to use 123 SC. So I'll give it admin. So admin as the username. Email address, I'll give example at, I don't want to give any Gmail ID here. Password 12345. Again 12345. So in terminal you cannot see the password. Okay, it's saying the password is too short. It contains less than 8. Bypass password validation. Yeah, no problem. So because it's just a test, so I'm just bypassing it. Super user has been created now. Again, I can run the server here. Python manage.py run server. Okay, it's been loaded. Now let us see admin 12345. Yeah, you can see now here. This is a normal default admin page where you can see groups, users, and some of the authentications and authorizations. So the admin which we have created, email ID of it, and staff status, and some of the things which are here. You can even reset the password here directly. Okay, and first name, last name, everything can be updated. You can just check out this. This admin page is not that useful to us, but when you are in entry level, it will be very helpful to you. So you can see here visit site, back, log out, and you can even change this as well to light mode as well if you want. Okay. So actually this looks a bit interesting for you all to learn about Django. Make sure you explore it later in the upcoming videos. I'll show you all how you to create a detailed project. So I hope this video was interesting. Make sure do like, share and subscribe the channel. Meet you all in the next video. Bye bye.